What's going on, everybody? Welcome back, Dudes Who Bet Daily, April 14th, 2023. Fun day today. We've got a couple NBA play-in games. We've got a great card, including modern games, over at Keeneland. We're going to talk a little bit about that as well. But to start off the show, someone said they wanted to ask a question that was fun to the group.
Yes, this is a very fun thing that's been posted on Twitter for the first time ever. Somebody's posted something fun on Twitter. Papa Dude, you answered it on Twitter. I know your answer, but I'll let you say it. It says, without saying your age, who was the catcher on your favorite team when you started watching baseball?
Okay, well.
And people are really responding. People are having fun with it. So, yeah. Papa Dude, go ahead. Who'd you say?
Well, by mentioning whoever it is, you already mentioned your age.
Correct.
Okay, the catcher when I started watching baseball and really remember it was Tim McCarver of the St. Louis Cardinals in about 1962-63 when the Cardinals they won the World Series in 1964. I'm not going to tell you how old I was, but I was old enough to remember it. And I was at Game 7 in Old Busch Stadium, which has been demolished since then. Not the one that recently was demolished, the old one. Yeah, I can tell you
really old
about. Listen,
every time you cut down the bush, it grows back. You just can't. You got it. It's constant maintenance. You got to keep on that thing.
This stadium, I don't think any of you guys. I know Magic wouldn't remember. Mike might. I've done some history on it. It was in what is now the ghetto, okay? And it was dangerous. It was dangerous to go to the stadium, and that's why they had to move. But anyway, one of the highlights of my life was I was in Game 7. They played the Yankees, and it was Mickey Mantle was just about done, and they still had all the players that we all know with the Yankees, and the Cardinals beat them in Game 7. Bob Gibson won 3 games in that. Anyway, Tim McCarver, St. Louis Cardinals.
Tim McCarver is a good one, and that's one a lot of people have heard of. All right, Somich, you got?
I'm interested to see if you guys even know who this is. Damon Berryhill.
Yes, I sure do know who that is.
He was a rock star catcher for the Cubs on RBI Baseball 2 for on Nintendo. And I was a huge Cubs fan. I would watch the games, and he would always hit like 8th on RBI Baseball 2 after Dawson and Mark Grace and all those guys. And I hated him because he was so freaking slow on that game. But he did play some good defense on RBI Baseball too. So Damon Berryhill would be my guy.
Damon Berryhill.
Okay, I gotta give mine now because it ties in, Magic. Then I'll let you give yours. Mine was Greg Olson, who was a starting catcher for the Braves in the early 90s. Damon Berryhill came to Atlanta after he was with Chicago, Somich. So Damon Berryhill, yes, I knew very well. And I almost answered Damon Berryhill, and I said, no, Greg Olson was the starting catcher. So Greg Olson for me, Damon Berryhill, know all about it.
Yeah, I saw you posted Greg Olson. I was like, he's a tight end for Carolina.
Nope. Nope, sure not.
Isn't he also an announcer?
It's
the same Greg Olson?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he did the Super Bowl this year. Did a phenomenal job. Magic.
He's so good.
All right, Magic.
I'll stick with the Braves. I must have been a couple years after you. I started watching once we got TBS for the first time. Javi Lopez, baby. Back when the Braves were absolutely dominant and winning. They won the World Series the first year I started watching. I love that team. I mean, you had they got Marquise Grissom. They had Andrew Jones. I don't know if Andrew was on the team. Yet. Chipper Jones, Greg Maddux, Tom Glavine, John Smoltz the first time when he was still a starting pitcher. So many amazing Rafael Belair, so many amazing players on that team.
It was.
Yeah.
Very good.
You mentioned him. I forgot about him.
Now, for a bonus point, Papa Dude, Javi Lopez was the catcher 4 out of 5 days, but Greg Maddux had his own catcher.
Oh, yeah.
That catcher, Papa Dude.
Give me the initials.
EP.
Oh, God, I'm going to
You know what, Magic?
Yeah, Magic.
Eddie Perez. Yep.
Oh, I can see him. Yeah, I see him now. You know what? I got that. I never would have got that.
Yep. Anyway.
I see his face, though.
Yep. Eddie Perez. Yep.
And you know, Magic, I was a Javi Lopez fan, but my memory's starting to go. I can't remember him being a catcher.
Oh, come on.
I was a Javi Lopez fan until there was one game. He was still with the Braves, or maybe he was with the Orioles. He hit a pop-up and it was like bases loaded or something like that, and he was pissed. He took like 2 steps, snaps the bat, and the infielder dropped the ball. And if he had actually run it out, he would have been safe, and they would have getting out of the inning. At that point, I was like, this guy's a schmuck.
Yeah. Here's a guy, Steven Benson. He's older than me. His first catcher he remembers is Earl Batty, who played for the Chicago White Sox.
I don't know who that is.
No, you wouldn't. You were like, I wasn't very old either. So there you go.
Hey, Tony Pena. That's a good one too.
Tony Pena. Yeah.
Yep.
It is interesting to see based on who they post. You can tell kind of how old someone is. Obviously, with Jesse posting Jason Varitek here from.
I was like Varitek.
That's a little bit sooner than all the ones that we're mentioning.
Yeah, he's a baby.
All right, let's jump into the games for today, and we'll start out with the Thunder and the Timberwolves here. The Timberwolves laying 5.5. Rudy Gobert is back. Don't you worry, Timberwolves fans. Total sitting at 228.5. I know where my heart is here. I'm not sure if I'm going to actually bet the game. I'll start with you, Aaron. Who are you taking?
Thunder. I'm taking the Thunder. You think I'm jumping off the bandwagon after we won with them at plus money a couple days ago? Hell no. Let's go. Thunder. Get it done tonight in Minnesota. Give me the Thunder. I think they're going to get it done. They've got just the star player in Shea. I really like this team. Give me Oklahoma City.
I would like Oklahoma City to win just because I would like to see them play more. They're so much fun to watch play. It'd be fun to see them take on Denver. They probably don't win the series. They might be able to get a game or two from them, though. Papa Dude, you're gonna go with the heart here and take the Thunder?
I am. Aaron has convinced me. I'm not real high on the T-Wolves. That collapse the other night could affect them going into this game. I think the Thunder match up okay. I'm going to go the Thunder tonight. They may not win, but that 5.5, I like that. I think it's going to be close.
Yeah, they posted Rudy Gobert rebounds at 11.5. I'm going to take the over on Gobert rebounds, just like I did with Valanciunas last game, because the Thunder don't have anyone big inside, so he should be able to get those pretty easily. I'm going to be rooting for the Thunder in this game, so I'm not going to bet a side. I would lean toward the Thunder. I like the T-Wolves against the Lakers, but they were catching points. 8.5. It was crazy. Now you've got the other way. You're going 5.5 for the Thunder here. So I would lean toward the Thunder, but I'm going to play Gobert over rebounds as my bet for this game. Magic, you've got a best bet coming from this game. Rain on this Halterman parade.
Listen, I think Thunder cover. I don't know that they actually win, but I thought, because I didn't have a strong opinion on this and that Minnesota collapse against the Lakers kind of scared me off of betting it, the game total. I think Josh Giddey, 20.5 points, I think that's too much for this guy. He had 31 points 2 nights ago, right? It completely blew up. Before that, he'd only gotten over 20 points once in his last 7 games, twice in the last 17. To me, that's an anomaly. And you mentioned it. You've got Rudy Gobert coming back. Karl Anthony Towns is healthy. Anthony Edwards will be back healthy on the court. I think that this is going to be a slower tempo game than what we saw Oklahoma City play before. I think Minnesota is able to shut down Josh Giddey. That said, I don't know how the game ends up total-wise. I just think that this is a spot where that 31 points that he scored the other night, with 19 of them coming in the second half, I think that is a little bit of an overreaction. Play the under on Josh Giddey, 20.5 points.
The strategy, too, was to double SGA pretty much that entire game and try and play in his shirt so that he was not able to get open. I thought New Orleans did a great job. Giddey was the one who stepped up, and he was the one who kind of benefited from that defense that was played on SGA. Be interesting to see Anthony Edwards. I think he got hurt last game. He ended up, I think it was 3 for 19, something crazy like that, but landed on his shoulder pretty hard in the first half. I'm interested to see how he plays. I would hold off on betting the game until you kind of see, hey, is he healthy? And if he is not healthy, I like the Thunder here plus the points. All right, let's move on to the other game. We've got the Bulls heading in to take on the Miami Heat. Heat laying 5.5. This is Dr. Tang's best bet. He took the Heat minus 5.5. And I'm going to say not so fast, my friend. I said it yesterday. I'm taking the Bulls plus the 5.5 today. This Bulls team is criminally underrated in what they've done over the last month with wins over Denver, wins over the Lakers, wins over the 76ers. They have not lost to a non-playoff team in over a month at this point. I like the Bulls here plus the 5.5 points. I think that Miami's broken on offense. They're not as good as defensively as they were last year. I think this game should be like 2.5, 3. So give me the 5.5 with the Bulls here. We'll start with you, Papa Dude. You siding with Samo? You siding with Dr. Tang?
I'm going with you. I like the Bulls as well. I'm not going to spew a bunch of facts because I imagine Magic's got them. If not, then you can come back to me. But so I'm not going to tell you why I'm really betting them because I'll leave it to him. But I really like them tonight. I think they're playing great, and I don't think the Heat are. And I like that. And you're getting points. So I'm all the way on the Bulls tonight. I think they're sneaky good. Now, I don't think they can handle the Bucks. But anyway, I think they beat the Heat tonight.
Yeah, we saw the Bucks. It was either a sweep or 4-1 last year in the playoffs, taking care of the Bulls. I'm not sure if they win, but I do think it's going to be a close game. I can see the other side of this where Dr. Tang is thinking, well, the Heat were so bad, they can't be that bad again. But they've been that bad for a month. I'm not willing to bet they're going to be able to just flip the switch. Magic, give us some stats.
I got 3 stats with the number 3. 3 times these teams have played this year. Chicago's won all 3 of them. Chicago, the last 3 games, they've won all 3 of them. They're not a great road team overall this season, 19-23 with a straight-up record. However, they've won 3 of their last 4 road games. I think they have no problem with Miami Heat. I think that they win outright.
Aaron, you going to buck the trend?
Well, I'm super mad at Doc, but I'm going to side with him here. With Miami, I'm going to side. Listen, when it comes to a doctor, you just can't question it. No matter how much he leaves you out of things, you just can't question it. He's still a doctor. So give me Dr. Tang and give me the Miami Heat to win this game.
So you can't question him just leaving you out of things then?
Well, you can't question it, but you can get very upset about it.
I'm going to make it.
What's your record of being included versus being excluded? Like, does Dr. Tang do better when he excludes you? Because maybe that's a
Well, he's over including him, so
yeah.
Oh, there you go.
His record is pretty good at gambling. I don't know about the other, but he's pretty doggone good at it. And not to make the medical profession mad, but I've disagreed with a few doctors in my time. But anyway, so that's why I don't go to the doctor. So there you go.
All right, let's jump over here to the Sabres taking on the Blue Jackets. Buffalo -165. 1 of 2 games tonight. Not really anything on the line here for either of these teams. Total sitting at 7. Papa, we'll start with you. Who do you like here?
Nothing game. Absolutely nothing. Wasn't it funny last night? The Blue Jackets won. And didn't they lose out on the number 1 pick last night?
Yes.
Right? I think they
lost a chance. They lost. It's a lottery.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. But they lost the number 1 spot in the lottery. Yeah. Right. So I know there were some people griping about that last night. I'm going to go ahead and take the Sabres because I think I just think they'll beat them. The game means nothing. So you might look at the total and go over. I could see this maybe being a high-scoring game. I don't know. I don't see why either team would even care tonight. It's a makeup game, right?
Yep.
I'm gonna go with the Blue Jackets here. I'll take the plus money. The Sabres don't need this game. They don't want to get hurt. I think the Blue Jackets for their home closer here come to play because they've got nothing else to play for. So I'll take the plus money with the Blue Jackets. I think it's just a little bit too high. Don't love it, so I'll just sprinkle here. Aaron, what are you gonna do?
I have the same attitude as you towards it. Why would Buffalo show up and even want to be there tonight? Like I said, Pop Dude said, it's a makeup game. The Blue Jackets are plus money. Give me them. But again, you don't want to just bet your whole bankroll on it. But just a little sprinkle on a plus money hockey game tonight. Yeah, I'll take the Blue Jackets.
All right, Magic. What about you?
Yeah, same. A couple of things. Tage Thompson is going to be out for Buffalo. They're going to rest him. You might see some other guys get rested as well. Columbus has got a lot of young guys coming up. There's not really much of a scouting report on them, so they're a little bit of a mystery, and that can go in your favor when you're playing the underdog. And also, last night, right, it was that overtime victory against Ottawa. Craig Anderson got his final career NHL regular season victory. To me, that was a huge emotional victory for them, and this is now the final game. And you guys said there's nothing for them to play for. They've got Levy going to be in net tonight. I think I wouldn't touch it either, but if you want to play it, go with the plus money on Columbus.
All right, let's head over to baseball. Can the Rays set the record today? -130, taking on the Blue Jays. Total sitting here at 9. Rays going for 14 in a row to start the season, which would be a solo MLB record. They tied it yesterday, 13 straight with 2 other teams. Magic, we'll start out with you. The Rays going to get the job done?
Yeah, they are. Drew Rasmussen is popping, starting the season hot like Wesley Ward at Keeneland with the 2-year-olds. He that superb effort against the A's last out. He's 2-0. His WHIP is .23 through 2 games. Pretty impressive start so far. No knock on Jared's favorite jockey's brother, Barrios Jose, starting for Toronto, but I think Tampa's going to get the job done today.
I'll go ahead and knock Hector's brother. Barrios, that is getting the stars, not very good for Toronto. 10-plus ERA so far to kick off the year. I'll lay the 1.5 with the Rays here since we're on the road. Take me some plus 150. Aaron, what do you got?
I think the streak ends, but not today. I like the Reds, or definitely not the Reds, the Rays to get another victory here. I do think it ends this weekend. Not today. Rays get it done. 14 in a row today.
Yeah, I agree with Aaron. I think that this streak falls in Toronto, but today is not the day that happens. Papa Dude, who you got?
I think we all agree with that. I think the pitching matchup favors Tampa Bay. So and they can hit, and they're hitting the ball. So I think they're going to get beat this weekend in Toronto, but I'm going to go with them today.
All right, let's head out to the nation's capital, Washington, D.C. We've got the Guardians coming in to take on the Nationals. Guardians minus 160 in this spot. Total sitting at 9.5. Kind of high for what I was expecting here. Not going to touch the under, though. I'm still scared of unders in baseball because of these new rules. We'll start out with you, Aaron. Who do you got here?
Yeah, give me the Guardians. I think they're just a little bit better team than Washington. I don't like Washington at all. I think Guardians get it done, minus 160. And if you wanted to play them minus a 1.5, not a bad price on that either. So I give me the Guardians to win this one.
I would agree. I'd lay the 1.5 or lay the half run in the first 5. I think the Guardians take care of business today. Nationals and the A's are probably the 2 worst teams in baseball. And Nationals, I think, are 1-5, 1-6 to start out at home as well. So not very good there. Papa Dude, who you got?
I agree with you guys. I don't think they're going to win tonight. I would throw the Tigers in there as a pretty bad team also.
They're not good either. Yeah.
And the Royals, which happen to be in the same division. So that's a real strong division over there. And Cleveland's in that division too. But they're pretty salty. So I'll take the Guardians to win. It's still hard for me not to say the Indians. It really is.
The White Sox appreciate not getting mentioned in that rant about bad teams in the division there.
Yeah.
Magic, who you got?
I'm going to take the under. I'm with you, Somich. You said 9.5 feels a bit high. Cleveland's got 4 extra inning games this season. They've scored a ton of runs in those 4 games. Otherwise, they've barely ever been able to get over 3 runs. I think they've only done it once. The Nationals are their 48 runs right now are second to last in the NL for the season. I know the season's early, but when you see through 13 games that they're only averaging a little over 3 runs per game, 9.5 feels like a way overblown. It's not like we're facing Barrios Jose on the mound. You know, Trevor Williams is pretty good. Cal Quantrill's not too bad for Cleveland. So, yeah, give me the under.
All right, let's head over to Keeneland. We've got a couple questions. The race today is going to be number 7. But before that, happy Mrs. Astor Day. This is a horse that I have been talking about since, I don't know, December, something like that. She came back, won impressively last time, scratched out of a stakes race. She's 6-1 on the morning line, Aaron. I know you like her today. Magic, I know you like her today. Everyone knows I like her in the world if you've been following anything I do. What do you think we actually get from an off-odds perspective here?
8-5.
No.
I do.
Freaking just raining on the parade. Magic, give me a better answer than that.
5-1. We'll get 5-1 because of the scratches.
That's just not even realistic. Come on. It's like 5-2, 3-1. Somewhere in there is what I'm hoping for. We'll see if we actually get it.
So she's 6-1 on the morning line?
Yes.
It ain't going to come all the way down to 8-5, I don't think.
She should be the favorite. She should be. I don't know if she will be, but she should be the favorite.
Well, why is she 6-1 on the morning line? Okay, I don't need
because of Tamaro.
I don't need.
I would throw that to Aaron, but I don't want to waste the West.
I'd say 5-2. I'd say she'd come down to 5-2.
I would be happy with 5-2, 3-1. I think that's a fair price. I think she should be like 2-1 in the race. I would be shocked if she's 8-5.
Well, now in reference, the 10 horse in the first race yesterday was 5-1 morning line and paid $420 or $440 to win.
Yeah, I think
so the 3 got scratched.
No, not that race. That's
not that one. Okay,
the first race. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
listen, the 7 in the last race was 12-1 and went off at 5-2 as a second choice in the last. So there's been a couple Gulfstream-esque odd switches that we've had at Keeneland already.
I don't see how she's not the favorite. Let's put it that way. How low, we'll see.
All right, we'll see what we get on Miss Astor race number 5 to kick off the pick 6 if you're looking for a single and you want to try and beat modern games, because I know someone on this stream will be doing that. All right, let's kick this thing off here with Keeneland race number 7. Turf sprint here. This is a really, really tough race. Number 12, Dance Macabre, a key scratch out of here. It's the return of Love Reigns for Wesley Ward, who was your favorite in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Sprint last year at Keeneland. Ended up not being able to get the job done. Didn't break very well. Wasn't really a threat at any point in that race. Comes back 7-2 on the morning line. Joel Rosario picking up the mount. Aaron, you can go with Love Reigns. You head somewhere else.
Yeah, I went with Love Reigns here. I'm going to give her a shot. I mean, we were pretty high on this horse going in the Breeders' Cup, and she didn't break very well, and that was it. It was just all over. But if you look at the race 2 back at Keeneland, where she won at Saratoga. I'm sorry, not Keeneland. At Saratoga, probably that kind of race is going to win. So I'm going to go Love Reigns here, right back. If you remember, they ran that race on August 21st at Saratoga where she looked so good, and then she didn't have the prep race, and she was supposed to have one at Keeneland. Kind of makes me think she wasn't quite 100%, and then you have a long leg off after that maybe kind of confirms that. I think she's back today with a vengeance. So I like Love Reigns to get the job done here.
And there's a couple wards here, as Michael's mentioning. Dr. Tang going to take the other ward, Lady Hollywood, the 11 horse here. I agree with Aaron. I put Love Reigns on top, but I did include one other horse as a must-use, and that's the 2 horse My Sweet Affair, where Irad Ortiz lands after a nice maiden special weight win at Gulfstream Park. Got a 70 buyer, but 1 out of the 11 post-turf sprinting at Gulfstream, that is not easy. And this is where Irad lands instead of on Love Reigns or on the 7 horse, who I also am a little bit interested in at 20-1, Alluring Angel for Jorge Abreu. Pratt ends up there. I'm surprised Irad is on the 2 here, and that makes me awfully interested in a horse that I thought was really impressive in a maiden-breaking debut. Magic, where are you going here?
I'm going to listen, Love Reigns, I think it would be my win pick in this spot, but I'll give you a long shot that I like. I like the 8 American Apple, and I think you're going to get every bit of that 10-1 as well. It's a filly that broke her maiden at Kentucky Downs and then went to Belmont and won the Aqueduct meet and won the Grade 3 matron. Beat Dance Macabre, who would be 4-1 on the morning line if she was in this race. She was in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Sprint as well, and a race where you talked about Love Reigns didn't break that clean, but she also, Love Reigns, to her credit, was trying to chase Speedboat Beach, Tyler's Tribe. The Platinum Queen was part of that mix. Also part of that early mix was American Apple. American Apple finished ahead of all of those horses in that race. This is, a trainer, Daniel Leach, who's not going to get a ton of attention because last year was his first year off on his own. This is his first stakes winner, his first graded stakes winner. I think that if she's okay off the layoff, which we've got about a little over 4 months here to worry about, that's the one concern, but that's also, I think, another big reason why you're going to get 10-1 on her. But she's also, the family's got a lot of great turf sprinting pedigree in there, as well as being a half-sister to a horse Aaron remembers well, Lady Apple. Lady Apple third in the Kentucky Oaks 2019, that year we were there. So there's a lot of talent in this family, a lot of ability. Real quick, the Dam Sire Clever Trick raced back in the 70s as a 2-year-old, 78. Fun fact, he raced 6 times in September and October as a 2-year-old. All of them at stakes, 4 of them were wins, all 6 at different tracks. This horse was literally every other week racing at a different track all over the place and getting wins. That has nothing to do with the handicapping. When I was looking at this, I thought that was a really cool little fact for you.
Any interest in the 10 Twirled then at 30-1 Magic, who just missed by a nose to American Apple in that Kentucky Downs race?
I looked at her a little bit. It's nice that Dettori picks up the mount, but it's Steve Asmussen turf sprinting, and I don't understand why they just we're just now back on the turf after she debuted at Kentucky Downs there. I think she's ultimately better on dirt, but I didn't hate her in this spot. I think she'll get a good tracking position behind the early speed.
Yeah, I don't think she's impossible at 30-1. Papa Dude, who you got?
I got Love Reigns on top as well. I also like Lady Hollywood a lot. I think you got to throw that one in. I'm with you, Mike. I like My Sweet Affair too. Nobody mentioned the 1 Sassy Nature, 1-2 in a row. So I like her too. So I'm going to go 50-cent trifecta box, 3-11-2-1.
There we go. No one mentioned the 4 Accomplished Girl, who popped the best last race buyer with a 92 to break the maiden at Gulfstream Park there. Zaya's returns for Safi Joseph as well. Very competitive 7th race today. Magic, I know you wanted to talk real quick about the 8th-9th double because you almost made it your best bet. So I'll flip it to you for that.
Yeah, if you think that Modern Games is going to win the Maker's Mark Mile race 9, he's 3-5 morning line. It's a hard race to try and play him straight to win unless you're super confident in him. You can try and go for exactas. I like the 2 travel column in the race before. It's a 6.5 furlong dirt allowance. A key scratch here is the 3 My Destiny. It looked like it was going to be 2 and 3 battling for that early pace and then a huge gap back to the next horse. The 3 is out. The 4 is the only other one that might be trying to chase her here. I think the 2 is going to be lone speed for Irad hopping aboard for Paulo Lobo, a filly that's shown plenty of talent in the past. And I think this is, it's not a grade 1 stake. She's not facing Goodnight Olive. It's an allowance race. Chi-Town Lady, I think, is a bad favorite because that one race you can point at that she won, total and utter pace collapse. The only way there's a pace collapse here is if Travel Column just, falls out of the gate or something like that. So I think the two travel column into modern games for the 8-9 double is a good play as well.
Yeah, I am the favorite I am against the most on this card is the 9 horse in that race. I think Chi-Town Lady, I agree with you, Magic. The race 2 back, the win at Saratoga was an absolute pace collapse. Ended up winning at 17-1. Came back and ran good enough in the Breeders' Cup that I think she's going to get bet off the board here, and I've got no interest. Aaron, would you against Chi-Town Lady as well?
Yeah, I think Chi-Town Lady will win by a couple links, actually, in that race.
Well, there you go. That's why it's horse racing. All right, let's jump over to the best bets for Papa Dude and Aaron. Papa Dude, kick us off here.
All right, I've got 2 parlays in a row, so I'm going to go for 3 in a row tonight. That would be a record if I could hit 3 in a row. That'd be fantastic.
Basically, call them the Rays right here.
Yep.
That's right. So I like the Yankees over the Twins tonight. I like the pitching matchup. The Twins beat them last night. I don't think they're going to beat them 2 in a row. So I like that one. Twins pitcher not as strong as the Yankees. So I think the Yankees get the job done. And then I'm going to go with the Avs to beat the Predators tonight and lock up the number 1 seed in the West. I just think the Avs are going to go in and play well. Sweated it out with them last night and they won. So they need this game. There'll be a 2nd seed if they don't win it. Nashville doesn't have much to play for. So I like that, and we're getting plus 126. I think that's a good enough bet there to make. So I'm going Yankees, Avs, money line parlay.
I like it. I know David does as well. Regular listener here, bet a bunch of parlays through the Avs and the Canes to win the divisions. We've been getting emails about this. He's got one of them home now with the Canes. He needs an Avs W for, I think it's like $2,000 in parlays to hit for these division winners. Glad you got in on that. Aaron, I know you're going to make him happy as well. Give us that best bet.
Well, listen, I think it's I played the Stars a couple of nights ago at minus a goal and a half plus money against the Blues, and it came through. And so I think it's the same situation tonight. Yes, the Avs are on the road in Nashville, but Nashville has absolutely nothing to play for. They're out. The Avs win. They win the division. And that is very, very important. So give me the Avs minus a goal and a half tonight. I think they get it done. They had to gut out a win last night against Winnipeg. That was a really tough game. They were able to do it. Winnipeg played great in that game. And now they come up here. I think in a lot of ways, the pressure's kind of off of them because that was the tough one. And now they show up here in a team that's probably not going to be ready to play, where the Colorado's really going to be ready to play. Give me that minus goal and a half at plus money. I like it.
Yeah, you have a highly motivated team versus a team playing for nothing. Generally, that's a good spot to be playing the highly motivated team if you want to try and get it done here toward the end of the season. All right, let's rip through the best bets real quick. We've got Aaron taking the Avs minus a goal and a half, plus 2025. I'm going to take the Bulls plus the 5.5 points. Papa Dude headed back to money parlay land, this time with the Yankees and the Avs, plus 126. Magic thinking Giddy will not be doing the Giddy tonight, going under 20.5 points. Real quick, Magic, we're going to have a live show today for Keeneland as well. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, we're going to be doing the live show today and tomorrow. Today it's going to be 1 to 2:30 Pacific. We'll be covering the stakes races, the Limestone, and the Maker's Mark Mile, and then whatever the travel column allowance race in between there. So come on, join us. It's a lot of fun. Last Friday, we were able to make a bunch of people a lot of money in the live chat, and it's just a lot of fun to hang out. And if you can't be at the track yourself, hang out with us. It's a good time.
Awesome. Join us at 1 o'clock today, Pacific time for that. We'll be back live again tomorrow with the final Kentucky Derby prep of the season, the Lexington coming at you from Keeneland. I know Aaron has a monster opinion in there as well, which we will talk about. Going to be interesting to see what the off odds there as well. Thank you very much for joining us. Best of luck with all of your bets today. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place, and we'll see you in a couple hours. Good luck, everybody.